morning in love and memory for Barry. Let us all hold hands and say the Lord's Prayer.
Hook my arm.
Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
And now if we all take our turns and read our heartfelt wishes for Barry. I thank you, God, for giving life to Barry. And thank you, God, for Rita, who gave him a life of a family.
In the basket.
Barry, I love you, and I know you are happy in heaven. You are happy, and I am too.
Dear Barry, my thoughts and prayers are with you. Rest in peace. Love you.
Do you want to come up here, stand up so we can see you?
So on my heart I have, dear Barry, we love you and we will never forget you. Your memory lives on in our hearts. I also had many other thoughts the other day. So if you have 5 minutes, I'd like to read something. A little louder? Okay. Dear Mariah, Tess, Emma, family, friends, Aunt Alice, today we're attending a memorial service honoring Barry Michael Malone. When we hear of someone passing away, we might say, I'm so sorry for your loss, when in fact the truth is that the person is not lost, for we know exactly where they are. Heaven welcomed Barry 2 weeks ago, on February 13th, 2014. When I first heard about Barry's passing, I was very saddened. After overcoming the initial shock of the news, I realized that it was great-grandma Viola's birthday. And if she was still alive, she would have been 106 years old. I know that she, along with many other loved ones that has gone before us, welcomed Barry into heaven that day. Psalm 34:18 reminds us, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Everyone we encounter on our earthly journey add a piece to the puzzle, which we call our life. Mariah and her family have cared for Barry for over 30 years. Their lives were so pieced together that without Barry, daily routines are forever affected and changed. To the rest of us, seeing Mariah and her family's dedication to Barry taught us how precious every life is and how unconditional love can be. The amount of attention and time that Barry required also was apparent, and Mariah and her family always worked together to provide him with the best life possible. Their love and devotion to Barry and to family life was truly evident and unquestionably spread to everyone they encountered. I asked Mariah if there was anything I could do to help her get ready for Barry's memorial service, and she wondered if I had any pictures of Barry. Well, that request had my name written all over it. I got busy right away. So I started pouring through all my albums and boxes of photos and pictures and old Christmas cards and try to put something together. So I would look for pictures that had Barry in them. So it was a wonderful exercise for me. I had not looked through my photos in a long time, and I was so grateful for seeing many much younger faces, much thinner bodies, and such wonderful smiles and times shared with so many people still here with us, but also many beloved family members who no longer are here. It was truly a stroll down memory lane, and it was a wonderful and heartwarming experience for me. It has been wonderful having you nearby for the past 3 weeks. Meeting Emma, Faith, was truly a joy. And to be able to share time with everyone right now is a very precious gift. I want to leave you with a final story. 3 years ago, when my son was getting married, Aunt Alice said she wanted to say something. And my daughter-in-law's Catherine bridal shower. Do you remember this, Aunt Alice?
No.
No? Okay, I remember. It was one of the highlights of the day. Do you remember, Joni? So we all got very quiet, and Aunt Alice stood up, and within 2 minutes of starting, everyone had tears in their eyes. And the message was very simple. And what she said was that when she entered into the Garrell family a long time ago, that she was overcome by the love that the family had. And she told Catherine that she was marrying into a family of love. Do you remember that?
I don't remember much now.
I think Joni could vouch for me though, right? Everybody was very quiet and everybody was very special, very special. So I'd like to send you back to Texas with that message. You're a product of a family of love. Know that we love you and uphold you and your family in our thoughts and our prayers. I have nothing but love and admiration for you and the life that you live, and wish you well as you return home to Texas. Thank you for showing us love in action. When the Lord was asked what the greatest commandment was, he answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There are no commandments greater than these. May peace and love fill your days as your life journey continues. Love you. Thank you. This is for you, Aunt Alice. I knew you'd ask me for a copy.
Right? Right. Wait.
I have a copy for you
Okay.
too.
I have the source, we
I have to follow that?
I
Jeez.
know.
Sorry.
I simply wrote, Barry, may you be in a better place where you're in no pain and can run and laugh and share your joy with everyone.
Auntie Edna?
Okay. For Barry, a smiling boy, so good at heart, so as soon to be an angel. God bless your perfect soul.
Nice. Barry, my memory of you is at Aunt Alice's house in Fairfield. You were always smiling and trying to grab me as I walked by. And I remember when he would grab me, his grip was so strong.
Yes.
So anyway, I was very sorry to hear of your loss, of your passing. God bless you.
Thank you.
Dear Barry, I remember the first time we met you, Christmas Eve at our house. You were just a little boy. And now I have a picture in my mind of you, running and skipping and twirling through a warm and sunny meadow. I hear your laughter and feel your joy. Have a blast, Barry. Love, Cindy.
My best memory of Barry is watching the Barnum Festival July 4th parade in Bridgeport with his whole family, That was a fun time. May God bless his soul.
Barry, my heart for you is written in green. Green for the color of new life, of spring, of growth, all beautiful things. I know that you experienced all of those things here, but I know that you're experiencing all of those things exponentially now in your new life. While it's hard for your mom and for all of your family now, I know that their fierce love for you and that love returned equally fiercely is what will sustain and gentle them. Say hi to Jesus for me. With great love, Chell Finn and all the Amherst gang.
Barry gave a lot of love to others and happiness.
This is, I'm going to read Monica's card for her. She says, Barry, I know you are in a better
gonna talk much because I don't wanna upset her. But since I was 18 months old, he taught me so much. Love and compassion and the ability to see everyone and not their differences or their, disabilities, and just to see people for who they are, see them, their hearts just shine through them. And I love you, Barry, and I see you up there with Grandpa and with Grandma and with our Uncle Aaron, walking, dancing and jumping and being able to speak, and my heart is happy for you when I see that, but I miss you and I love you. I feel blessed to have you all here during this transition time for us. Change is the only thing that we can really count on. Nothing stays the same, for the good and the bad. So I feel blessed and honored to be able to share this moment with you. For 30 years, Barry was a huge part of my life. He came in, we went looking for him, for a child with special needs that we could raise as our own. And when I found him, blonde hair, big saucer blue eyes, sitting in a big Pogon buggy in the hospital, waiting for somebody to open a home for him. He had been in the hospital and couldn't stay there. He needed to find a home. And that little hand that we all know, that turned into a big hand that didn't change, and that just liked to reach out and grab and touch you, touched me. And my heart exploded wide open. And I said, how can I walk away from this little boy? He needs me. And he's so precious. So we went home. Tess was 18 months old. We went home, and I cried all night. I cried because I still felt like such a new mother. I didn't know if I had enough energy. I didn't know if I had enough love. I didn't know if I had enough time, wisdom, patience to take care of them both. I didn't want to cheat Tess. I didn't want to short stick Barry. And I prayed all night. Said, how can I do this? God, can I do this? Can I? And when the sun rose in the morning, I said, okay, I'm signed up to try as best I can. And that's all I signed up to do, is the best that I could in every day, in every situation. That's all I did, was to try to do the next thing, and to do the best I could in the next moment. And people, I know, looked at my life and looked at Barry and said, it's hard. Being with Barry must be hard. And I, honest to goodness, have to say that that's not at all the feeling I had taking care of Barry. It didn't feel hard to me. It just felt, it was a constant thing that didn't ever stop. There were no breaks. There was no weekend. There was no holiday. And that part of it was trying at times. But the being with Barry itself, Barry was always in joy, always in love. And that was a real blessing for me to be in, that no matter what could be going on, you just have to look at Barry, and there were smiles. That hand was always reaching out to me to love me. And what a blessing he was to me in that way. I brought other children. I birth children, Scott lived with us, Adam came with us. Adam's gonna have a hard time now. You know, they've been like two peas in a pod, not separated by anything. Even when Barry and I have spent time in the hospital, Adam's come to see us every day there. So Adam's gonna have the hardest time adjusting. Although in some ways, I think Barry, from the other side, has already come to Adam. So Adam sees Barry in a way that it's not so easy for the rest of us. Although in that moment, the day Barry passed, the morning Barry passed, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. There was an angel, and it said, Barry's having a hard time breathing. And I woke up, and he was sitting in the wheelchair next to me, in fact, having a very hard time breathing. I called Tess, I said, we've got to call 911, you know, Mom's house, 2 blocks away, the ambulance. They were there, they said, he's having a hard time. My motorcycle group is a paramedic group. I know a ton of paramedics. I'm like, this is what they do. They're starting CPR on him in the ambulance, and I'm like, first time for everything, but you do CPR, people come back. You do CPR, people come back all the time. But not this time. It wasn't meant to be this time. When they brought me in, the woman doctor, I'd say probably Tessa's age, sad. I said, is he doing okay? She said, no. She said, I've tried everything and more. I've tried everything and more. And I don't know what else to try. And I felt her sadness. And when they opened the curtain, and I saw, I don't know, I might guess a dozen sweet young medical people's faces. And I saw the agony on their faces. And the 2 people doing CPR on Barry, trying so hard, so hard, so hard, so hard. And in that moment I knew, if all of us there who wanted him to continue in this world so badly wasn't enough to bring him back, with all that intention and expertise and human will wasn't enough, it was time for him to go. And so I said, enough, enough, enough. Let's just quiet and be quiet. Quiet. You could hear a pin drop, and then I heard myself. The pain of that decision for me in that moment. I love you, Barry, but I'm letting you go. I love you, Barry, but it's time to let you go. And in a second, he was gone. It was not a lingering anything. He let go. And then I felt him standing right here. He was a little bit taller than I was. There was no scoliosis. My father had his arm around him. Like my dad, even when Barry was in this world, would sit next to Barry and put his arm around Barry. My dad was there to welcome him over. And the 2 of them were there. My brother Aaron, my soul brother Aaron, who passed in 2005, was standing here. And then there was a little man that I have only met once, was standing there with him, and it was Barry's birth mother's father. So the men were all standing there together to welcome him over, and I knew then that they were waiting for him, and they were ready for him, and they were there to help him in this transition time from the other side. But that veil between here and there is very thin, and when it's time, it's time. I'm here, he's there. I feel him, which is a comfort. The reality still for me, while I'm here, I'm very distracted. I have a lot of things to do, and I'm very distracted. When I get home to Texas, it will be hard for me to be in my home environment, have various things, his room, my normal routine with him will be hard for me to get through that. You know, so prayers thrown at me in that direction when I'm there, I will gladly receive from there. Emma's been the joy for us. You know, we focus on the new life that she's beginning. She at that simple stage of just love, 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 like Barry lived his whole 30 years in that stage of just love. He was just love. That's all he knew. He didn't know to be angry at anybody. He didn't know to be disappointed in anybody. He didn't know to have expectation. He just was, I'm right here, and everything's cool right here, I'm cool, you know? And not only just cool, I'm like cool. I'm like, you know, not just like satisfied, I'm like, this rocks kind of thing, you know? And so Barry was a joy to me in that way, that even in the hospital, even through his seizures and his surgeries, I have to say, only seldom did those get him down, and when they did, it was not for very long. So I'm relieved as a mother that he's not in pain anymore. You know, we had, the last couple years have been hard. He's had wounds that have taken forever to heal. We've had to cast his whole leg in order for a wound on his foot to heal, because it's in a place that moved and kept opening up, and it's been such a struggle. But even with all that for him, he still had a smile. He was still happy to reach out and give you his love. And for that, I'm grateful. So I'm so happy that you all could be here with me, and to have known parts of Barry and shared in some of that his life, and who he was, the true soul part of who he was, that we all carry a little bit of that with us, you know, that has changed us all in a little way, you know. If being with Barry slowed my life down, but you know what? I think we could all use a little piece of that. You know, I couldn't rush anywhere. I learned to not want to rush anywhere. I learned that it wasn't worth it to rush anywhere. I learned that a lot of things I thought I needed and wanted and had to do, really, I didn't really need, want, or have to do, you know. He helped me to just, you know, simplify, you know, stick with finding the joy and being in the joy, and that it didn't take a lot to create that. It didn't take a lot to be in that. Every home health aide that worked for us, and we've had many, many, many now, as I think back over the years, at first would come in and look at Barry and go, you know, take their breath away, like, you know, looks fragile, looks like there's not a lot going on, looks like it's gonna be a chore, it's gonna be boring, and by day 3, they come to me and go, it's really a lot of fun to work here. It's never boring to work here. And Barry's not nearly as hard to take care of as I thought it was gonna be. And I go, yeah. Come in the morning, crank on the radio, CDs, 5-CD changer will go all day for us, and we put anything and everything in there. And we would dance, and we would rock, and we would sing, and just the music would play, and we would have joy. And that was what typically our day was filled with, you know, just trying to find the joy, be in the joy. So I'm gonna need to work hard to find that when I get home. It's gonna be different to not have him be that for me there. Emma's got a lot of responsibility, and I'm gonna be looking at her to light my little flame of joy there, and I can take it from there, but it's gonna be different for us. So, I thank you all for your love and your support for us, for all of us, for all the years, for being the family and friends, for being our family, for welcoming Barry into this family. I welcomed him into my personal family, and by doing that, I kinda got you guys, he became part of our extended family, you know? So, thank you for your love and your open hearts and your kindness to us over the years. And yes, let's just celebrate that. You know, Barry's crossed, he slipped through that veil, and on that other side, he truly is whole and happy and free and able to move, and he has a voice, and just praise God for that, you know, praise God for that. So, amen, that's it for me. So here we are, there's still food, there's still a drink. We can mill around here, I think, for a little while longer, and then they need to come in and do lunch here, so we'll start pictures here, people wanna see. I have a ton of pictures, they're on my desktop computer in Texas. I have a few here of Barry. Irene did a beautiful photo collage here, of some of the older pictures of Barry and things. So please do come